Seller WSTU or EXP Realty. Any reproduction or reuse of the program without written consent of WPSL and WSTU is strictly prohibited. And now, welcome to my Dream Home Radio Show, your chance to find your dream home. Here's your host, Eileen Simons and Paula Brady.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody today?
Hey, we're doing fine.
On this beautiful day. It's gorgeous outside.
I was about to say, it's such a pretty day.
Yeah, it beats 50 and rain in Tallahassee, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, or several feet of
Or snow up north.
Or, yeah, several feet of snow up there. Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Yep. So how you guys doing? How's business doing?
Business is very busy. What I can tell you is that homes are flying off the market. They go on the market, and I'm just not talking $200,000 homes. I'm talking $400,000, $600,000. They go on the market, and 2 days later, they have multiple offers.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to jump if you want something.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess the interest rates are helping you too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll be discussing that with our guest today, but I know how much you like statistics.
Oh, yeah.
So I brought you statistics
My whole life
today.
is statistics.
So these are December numbers. In Florida, condo and townhouse sales were up 27.7% in December.
Wow. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep. Single family homes were up 21%.
Man.
That's
crazy.
why houses are going off the market so fast, because their inventory is smaller because they're selling so quickly, and we have twice as many buyers looking and ready to buy as before. And I will tell you another thing that's been a challenge lately is we have so many buyers that are buying with cash, that our buyers that have mortgages are having a difficult time getting their offers accepted because the cash sale can close faster than the mortgage sale can. So it's
What are you talking about time-wise there and the difference?
probably
between the
twice
two?
the difference in time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even if everything is done in advance for the mortgage, and basically all you have to do is finish processing the loan and get the appraisal done, generally that takes about 30 days. But a cash sale can be closed in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's a challenge for everybody. And now we're finding another issue is people are, because they want to get the house they want, they're putting a full price offer in for the asking price, and then they have their home inspection done, and then they want to renegotiate after the home inspection and bring the price down. And sellers are saying no, and I don't blame them for saying no, because that buyer should have offered what they thought the house was worth when they made the first offer.
And as you mentioned a few weeks back, that buyer should have had his or her own home inspection as
Yes,
well.
they do.
So
Yes.
that they know they're on equal footing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
So there are challenges all the way around.
Oh, sure.
It's great for owners who want to make a decent price for their home, because right now they're able to do that since prices went up so much during the summer and the fall. And we are, without looking at the actual numbers, I would imagine by now we are well above what the highest was before the crash.
Oh, wow.
So I would think that we're either equal to or above that now. But it brings its own challenges. That's why the real estate market is in flux all the time.
Yeah. Well, hey,
It's
welcome to Florida, right?
right.
Right.
Well, anywhere it's like that almost everywhere right now, just because of the prices and the mortgages. So it's hard for people, but it gets done most of the time.
There was an article put out by the National Association of Realtors about existing home sales in the country. So the 2020 existing home sales across the United States, they attained the 14 year peak in 2020.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it states that existing home sales in 2020 surged to the highest level in 14 years, landing 22% higher than a year ago, the National Association of Realtors reported. Existing home sales, completed transactions that include single family homes, townhomes, condos, and co ops posted big gains year over year of 0.7% over 2020 over 2019. That's a huge amount
Wow. That's
nationwide.
Yeah, nationwide. Well, now the obvious with everything that's happened with COVID is what are those numbers going to look like, especially if you track Northeast or my old crazy state in California that, that there are a lot of companies leaving. That's going to be very interesting if you really zero in on what Texas is doing
Right.
and what we're doing here versus, any of the states up in the Northeast.
Well, the funny thing is that of the things I've read recently, at first when it started and people found out that they didn't have to stay in the city because they could work virtually now, they weren't going to have to go to the office anymore. So they moved out of the city where they could purchase more square footage for the same amount of money. Well, after that big exodus, then the prices in the cities started dropping.
Like a rock?
Yes. Which made the city things more affordable. So people who weren't in the city before and wanted to be now, it's just, I read an article recently, they were talking about rentals. And it was funny because they compared two areas in Florida. They compared the Orlando area and the Miami area. And what this article said is that the people in the Miami area want to move to Florida or want to move to Orlando, and the people in the Orlando area want to move to Miami.
Interesting.
So they're just switching locations.
Wow. Yeah. and it's interesting you talk about working from home. One of the referees that we had for our IRSC game is a big time lawyer up in Tallahassee. And he was saying that there are a lot of lawsuits with students' parents because they're still at home here.
Right.
And they're paying those
and they're
big
paying
tuitions.
the leases. No, it's the leases
Oh.
on these apartments
For the
that are not
kids.
occupied for the kids.
Okay.
But they have to sign an annual lease before the school year starts. So he said, we have a mountain of lawsuits
Wow.
to go through on that. And I'm thinking, wow, that's something I didn't think about. But
No, I didn't think about the kids moving out of their apartments because my granddaughters moved into their apartment for the start of the college year this year. Well, although they are mostly virtual, they stayed in their
but they're
apartment.
living there.
They're
Yeah.
living in their apartment. Yeah.
Well, apparently these lawsuits are kids that never even got to the apartment.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah. Oh, well, time we live in, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day's a new day.
Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
always a challenge.
Yeah.
So I just want to remind everybody that this is a call-in show. If you have any real estate related question you want to ask, you can call us here at the station. The number is, Greg?
340-1590. Or if you're in New Zealand, it's 772-340-1590.
340-1590. And if you want to text us a question, you can always text that to my cell phone, which is 772-200-5105.
And as we know very well with IRSC Sports, we have a lot of listeners all over the world listening on TuneIn.
Yes.
And, and through the website, and it's, you never know.
That's right.
You never know. And it was really funny because we had a player from Brazil who was on the opposing team in Pensacola who said his parents were moving to Port St. Lucie.
Is that right? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So, okay. And he said the whole family would move from Brazil to Port St. Lucie. I thought, wow, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It is.
becoming,
Small
Florida
world.
is continuing to be a melting pot.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there's no doubt about it. Yeah. Very cool.
So we have a special guest with us today.
Mhm.
Are we ready to bring him in?
Zooming in, you bet.
Wonderful. Let me put my headphones on so I can hear him. So today's guest is Bob Shonce. He belongs to the BNI group that I belong to, and he's with Arch Mortgage Corporation. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. How are you ladies doing?
Doing well.
We're
thank you.
good. How are you?
Good.
Well, we're very glad to have you with us today. And how about if we start out by you giving our audience some of your background to let us know how you got where you are?
Okay. Been a business owner most of my life, but I grew up and lived in Michigan for a long time, and then we moved
Yay,
to North
Michigan.
Carolina.
What is it, all you Michiganders down here?
There's a bunch of them.
Is there anybody left up there? Oh,
Not many happy people anyhow. But anyhow, we moved to North Carolina for granddaughters, and then we moved to Florida 6 years ago for our 3 grandchildren here of my daughters. So I started out with State Farm doing financial services for State Farm, which include mortgages and refis and car loans, boats, RVs and stuff. But last year, State Farm got out of the financial service industry, and I went to work for Arch Mortgage, who was a friend of mine anyhow. So it worked out good.
Great.
So you have a good, well-rounded background in finance and finances and lending in order to be in the position you're in now. That's great.
That is correct.
So we wanted to spend today talking about the challenges with mortgages or the ease of acquiring a mortgage. Can you give us a little bit for those who haven't experienced a mortgage lately or never experienced a mortgage? Can you give us a little bit of information about what kind of paperwork is required to get that process started?
Well, to get started, depending if it's a purchase or a refi, if it's a purchase, well, you'd want to get pre-approved before they go out with you ladies and start looking at houses. Most realtors want pre-approvals, and we do that. Documents, as far as that goes, last 2 years of tax returns. We're going to need pay stubs. If you're self-employed, we're going to need profit and loss statements. And there's quite a few other documents, but those are the main ones that we'll be looking for, so that you can determine what you can afford based on your
Right.
debt to income.
And is Arch Mortgage a mortgage broker or do they service loans?
We don't service loans. We are a mortgage broker. We work with over 25 different lenders. So we are able to provide a mortgage most of the time for just about anybody's circumstances. We have VA
25
loans,
different
FHA.
lenders is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have that many available to us, but there's a couple of main ones that we work with. But you know, we can do all the different types of loans: VA, FHA, first-time buyers with 3.5% down. So there's a lot of different programs that we can offer folks to fit their circumstances.
Very good. Yeah.
now the VA, what are the circumstances behind a VA loan?
Well, you just need to be a either active or discharged member of the armed forces here. And there's forms that they will supply you that we can use for our mortgages with our underwriters. And most of the time, it's the VA loans. There's really no money needed down. You don't need a down payment. Closing costs can get included in the loan, and it makes it real affordable for a veteran to obtain a house.
So if they are not active military, then they need a DD 214. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And anybody who used to be in the military certainly knows what that DD 214 is.
Yes. Well, most of them should. I mean, if you haven't used your VA loan option, then you may not realize it, but most of them do realize it's available for them. Interest rates are great on the VA loans and the terms are good. So it just makes it real affordable for our veterans to obtain a loan for a house.
It's great. Yeah.
Wonderful. And what are these things that we hear about no-doc loans? Is there really such a thing as a no-doc loan?
Well, they're low docs maybe, but no docs are tough to come by, but they are available, but most people do not qualify for them.
Okay. And are there, like if I'm just starting out and I have never done this before. Of course, this is my very first home. I finished college. I have a good job for 2 years now. So I'm going to go out and buy my first home. What is the low? Is there a minimum for a mortgage?
You mean a minimum amount?
Yes, a minimum amount. Like, can
Well,
somebody get a mortgage for $70,000 if they want to buy a little condo?
yes,
Oh,
Yes.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
yes, you can do that. And most of the time, first-time buyers, a first-time buyer is someone that hasn't owned a home in the past 3 years,
Yes.
qualify for a 3.5% down loan plus their closing costs.
3.5 down. What if they don't have that amount of down payment? Are there assistance programs to them to for down payment, or is that something that doesn't happen?
There are some assistance programs in different counties. You also can borrow money, well, not borrow money, but parents can gift money or grandparents or whoever can gift money to
Right.
someone for a down payment, which makes it affordable for them to go ahead and buy the house.
They
Right.
just need to be able to verify in writing that gift money, correct?
Yes, there's a gift letter that needs to be signed that it is a gift and not a loan, and that's required by the underwriters. But it's very doable.
Right.
Another leg off of what Eileen was talking about. What if that younger person looking for a first home had their own business? How different does that look compared to somebody who has worked for someone for a couple of years?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was always a little bit different for self-employed people or business owners to obtain a mortgage for a couple of different reasons. It's a little bit riskier. Their income isn't guaranteed. And then it got a little bit tougher even with COVID, and the government put some extra restrictions on those loans, but they're doable. The big thing for self-employed people is to show as much income as possible. Um, so because that's how your loan amount is determined, is how much you make versus how much you owe or how much your payments are. So it's very important that they show as much income as possible, have their records in order, profit and loss statements and so forth. So it is doable, but it's a little bit more paperwork, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And I read an article this weekend. This is from the National Association of Realtors, and it was just published yesterday in the local articles that comes out to my email. Mortgage rates continue to hover near record lows. This states that for nearly a year, mortgage rates have remained near historic lows. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage fell this week to average 2.77%, Freddie Mac reported. Its lowest average on record was 2.65%, which was earlier this January. So are we still looking at low rates like this? And do you think that they will continue? Of course, I know you don't have a crystal ball, but
Wish we all did.
Well, the rates are still low. Everybody's different because it's going to depend on your credit score, your debt to income, the amount you're borrowing, and other factors. But rates are low. 30-year rates I am seeing under 3%. 15-year rates are even better. if you can afford a 15-year mortgage.
Right.
As far as are they going to stay this way? That's a great question. I have no idea where they're going.
It remains
It's
to be
crazy.
seen.
Yeah, it's crazy because rates actually change hourly. So it's very difficult to say how long, but we don't see any, they're not going to go up 2% or anything like that in the near future. But if you're looking to buy or refi, now is the time to do it.
I remember when we bought our first home in San Diego in 1976. Interest rates 18.7%.
Yes, I was thinking that.
Oh God.
Yeah, I
When we
think-
moved to Michigan, actually, we bought a home on a land contract because to get a mortgage, interest rates in the early 80s were 18% also in Michigan.
Okay, what's a
So,
land contract?
in Florida, you call it seller financing.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
got you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say we did the same thing in Orlando in the early 80s, and it was 17.25 or something. We were right in the middle of it too. The highest interest rates I think we've ever had. but-
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the highest they ever were. And I know my first mortgage back in the early 70s was 10 3/4.
Wow.
So
Wow.
amazing.
these rates are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
absolutely.
are.
Yes, absolutely. That is historic. And it says further in this article, it does say that we're seeing rates to fluctuate a bit. And however, they do forecast that rates remain relatively low this year as the Federal Reserve keeps interest rates anchored near zero for a longer period of time if needed until the economy rebounds. I want to go back to something you said earlier. I had not heard anybody tell me in all these years that I've been in this business that interest rates fluctuate on an hourly basis. How does that
was
happen?
shocking.
Yeah, it does. When you're a broker and you're dealing with the underwriters, they actually do fluctuate on an hourly basis. Now, that's not a big fluctuation, but they do fluctuate on an hourly basis.
Would it
certainly
be as
on a
much as
daily
like
and
a
weekly
tenth of a point or something?
Yeah, it's very small percentages, very small amounts, but they do fluctuate a little bit. And what we try to do is we watch those, and we try to lock you in on the absolute best rate that you can get at that time.
Right. And so for those of you out there listening, want to know why your rates get locked in, that's exactly why.
Exactly.
So that
Right.
you can know going into your closing what that rate's going to be and not have it fluctuate until the day of the closing. Correct?
Exactly. You lock that rate in, and there's different periods for locking it in, but as long as you close within the lock-in period, then you're golden. Then your rates are not going to change. And on a fixed mortgage, they're never going to change for the term of the loan. 15, 20, 25, 30 years, whatever it is.
Right.
Even if they go back to 17%.
You're correct.
Yours-
You're
yours
correct.
won't change.
Whoa.
I hope to never see those days again.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, Bob. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
In fact,
Wow.
that's what led to the need to create the flexible loans, wasn't it?
Yes, they're called ARMs, or adjustable rate mortgages.
Right.
And those are available still, and those are very seldom do we use them, but they are appropriate in some situations. Most of the time, if you know you're only going to stay in that house for a couple years, then an ARM may work for you. But most of the time, we do fixed rate conventional loans or FHA.
Well, there are no surprises in the future that way then. You know what your
Exactly.
payment's going to be, and
Right.
except for
Yeah.
having to adjust for taxes and insurance going up every year. Your principal and interest are going to stay the same.
Right.
And that's a good point, Eileen, that I talk to a lot of people and they say, well, my payment has gone up, my mortgage keeps going up, and it's not your mortgage that's going up, it's your
That's
taxes
right.
and insurance
Yes, it's
and
not
your
the
escrow
mortgage.
payments. Yes.
What is a time, say, that's a good time to refinance versus maybe a deadline? Like if you only owe for another 3 or 4 years, it would be crazy to refinance, I would think.
Yeah, that's a good question too. What I tell people is make sure you talk to a mortgage professional and let them work the numbers for you. And certainly if you're only going to be there 3 or 4 more years, or you're going to pay it off in 3 or 4, that may not be the best time to refi, because you are going to have closing costs. So you have to factor in closing costs and weigh that against how much can you save if you refinance. I know I talked to someone earlier, last week, and they're at 7.5%. They need to remortgage,
Oh,
for
yes.
sure,
They'd
but
save a lot of money.
a lot of money. They don't even owe that much, but the fact is 7.5% is still 7.5%. When you more than likely they can qualify for, around 3%, a little more, a little less.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big difference. Yeah, big
It's
difference.
crazy. Yeah.
I kind of remember somebody telling me a while ago that if you're thinking about refinancing, if you can save 1.5%, then you should do it. I should say 1.5% or more. Is that still correct?
Yeah, I would suggest if in today's market, if you have a 3.5% or higher, you ought to take a look at refinancing, because you don't know until you look at it. And it doesn't cost to have a mortgage loan officer like me take a look at the numbers and give you an idea of what it would cost to refinance, how much you could save. So, at these rates, and the other option is, if you've been in the house a while, you may want to go to a 15-year loan instead of a 30, and you could even save more. Now your
Save
payment will be a
save a
little
lot
higher,
on your
maybe.
interest rate, or I mean,
Yes,
on the interest you're paying on the loan, correct?
exactly. Your rate would be lower. You'd save on the total dollar amount, and your house gets paid off faster. I mean, some people, they've been paying for 15 years, so you just refinance for 15 years. That's all.
That'd be
Mhm.
great. Yeah.
Or you can do what Paula and her family are doing. They refinanced
Right.
and they're putting the money back into the property by upgrading it.
Oh, that's
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of people if they have the
perfect
equity in their home, borrow to pay off college loans, to pay off credit card debt, put a
Right.
pool in. I mean, there's lots of different things. Renovate the house. There's lots of different things you can do by refinancing and taking cash out, which is
Right.
always an option.
Well,
Right.
we
Mm.
tried to be careful not take all of our equity, but enough just to get some things done that we thought needed to be done to the house, which will make it more what's the word?
That's good enough.
Yeah.
You're close.
Yeah, to someone that might want to buy it in the future if we do decide that's what we want to do. But hopefully, we're going to stay there for a while. So you never know. My crystal ball doesn't tell me what I'm going to be doing next week, but hopefully, we're still going to be in the same place.
Next week.
Yeah,
Right.
And that brings up a good point, because my experience with working with buyers coming into this area is the majority of the buyers want an updated home. They don't want a
Right.
project. They want
Right.
to come to Florida to relax and
Have it just right when they move in.
yes.
Right.
And so if you're thinking about selling your house in the next year or 2 year, and you put that money back into the home to upgrade it, it's going to be much more appealing to the buyers that are shopping.
Correct.
About if you lived in a home 25 years and you haven't done anything. No,
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Same thing.
That's
Same thing,
that's
yeah.
wow, hey.
Might make life a little easier, more comfortable for you if you update it.
Right.
I could get a new kitchen. Oh, cool.
We did ours mainly to improve the flow of the kitchen, so but there's always reasons to do things, but I think that was one of the major ones. But and to upgrade the bathrooms and so forth, because it does attract more people when it's time to sell.
Sure,
So,
sure. Well,
Another good reason to consider refinancing is to get rid of PMI insurance if you're paying that right now.
right.
Oh, great point. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah, that worked for us too.
If you
Okay,
didn't
so
put
I'm in-
20% down when you bought your house, then you are paying PMI insurance to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
Correct.
And now your equity may be up after a few years, but I know of one case for sure that a friend of mine had an FHA loan, And normally PMI will fall off 5 to 7 years on a conventional loan. They had an FHA loan, and in the contract, it states the PMI will not fall off for the entire length of the loan, which is
Wow.
30 years. That's crazy to pay
Yeah.
PMI insurance for 30 years.
Yes, it is.
Who gets that money?
That goes to the government, to a private mortgage insurance program
Wow.
to help with foreclosures.
I haven't even heard that terminology in
Yeah, so
years. Wow.
When you're refinancing, I try to make sure that the guideline is 80% equity in your house. You want to have 80 or have at least 20% equity in your house, not borrow more than 80% of the value of the house. So you need to get out of PMI is what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, we have realtors calling now, and we're in a little area in St. Lucie West, and they're talking 2 and 3 times what we paid for the house.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, really? No, this can't be real.
Well, it depends, but like I said, I really think that prices are finally leveling off a little bit over the last 30 days, maybe. But prior to that, prices were just going up every month for 6 months.
Was this
Every month
all around or just on the island?
in general? No.
In general.
Yeah, in general.
Wow.
Yes. And not just the Treasure Coast, but all of Florida.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. It really didn't take people very long. I mean, we were already getting a lot of people coming to Florida, but after COVID and when we were allowed to keep doing business as being considered essential, it didn't take too long for people to decide we're going to start shopping now. We're not going to wait. So they really started shopping in May.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, Bob, before we
Yes.
have to let you go, can you please give us your contact information for our audience?
Sure. The best way to contact me is the office number is 561-775-2724. I'm not in there a lot because I typically will work from home or on the road. But my cell phone is of course, a Michigan number, but it's 734-787-9841.
And I can tell you
Great.
that when you call Bob, he will answer the phone.
Every time. And if I
That-
can't get to it right away, I will leave me a message and I will call you back usually pretty quickly, within same day for sure, probably quicker than that.
That is, unless he gets flooded out. I love that video that you've got going in the background. Or is that a real camera?
That's just my background. That's my Zoom background.
I was going to say. That's,
Well,
I
the-
wasn't sure you guys were seeing my
Oh,
video.
yeah,
I know I was
you
on
betcha.
audio. I wasn't sure you were seeing video.
oh, yeah, you bet. That looks
Okay.
awesome. Yeah, very cool.
Well, Bob, thank you much. It's been an honor to have you on the show today. And any last words you want to leave with the audience?
Well, two things. One is the Consumer Finance puts out a real nice document that explains mortgages and terms and everything. I would suggest, if you're thinking about a mortgage, search CFPB, and that will get you to their website, and you can download the document. It's about 40 pages long, but it's good information and helps you understand some of the things that we've been talking about today. And the other
Right.
thing is to contact a professional and let them help you with this mortgage process. The government has tried to make it easier over the last few years. I'm not so sure they did a great job at that. So you really need a professional to help you crunch the numbers and figure out where you're at. And
Bob,
that,
what was that website again?
well, the name of the place is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I don't have an exact website, but if you search CFPB,
Mm-hmm.
you will, I'm sure it'll come up, but it's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And they've got a lot of information there, but certainly the mortgage document is great if you're new at this, or you haven't done a mortgage in 20 years, you may want to take a look at that, and it will help you understand the process and what is entailed in closing a mortgage, getting a mortgage done.
And I do have access to that document too. So if you can't find it online, just email us at mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com, and I will send that document out to you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
All right. Thank you very much, Bob. Have a wonderful
for
rest
having
of
me.
your day, and I'm going to see you later today.
Yes, ma'am. Talk to you
All
later.
right.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
All
Have a great
right.
day.
Very informative, Bob Shonce at Arch Mortgage Corporation. Good stuff. Yeah. Boy, your guests have always.
I know.
Very good.
I feel so blessed to know so many professional people who are willing to share information with us.
All-star cast.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I brought something fun today because I want to put a little plug in for Cliff and his program that comes on before us.
Uh-oh.
The
Look
swap
out.
shop.
I love the swap shop. I listen to it as often as I can. So Cliff has the swap shop on 9 to 10, Monday through Saturday.
Mhm.
And I came across this really cool, cute little article that talks about decluttering, because so many people so many
Oh, I need
people
that.
staying at
Yeah, so
home
do
over
I.
the last many months with COVID, they've decided to declutter. And instead of just throwing things away that you may think are not valuable, you should call Cliff's show and sell them online because, sell them through the swap shop. So I'm just going to go through this list very quickly. The first one on the list are Beanie Babies.
He
my
just
goodness.
had that on last week.
Yeah, not the ones you let your kid chew on, of course, as a baby, but ones that are in pristine condition. From what I understand, they're very sought after. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures.
Oh,
My kids had
goodness.
those.
Whoa. Yeah.
Mine too.
Our grandkids did. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess there's a couple generations of those also.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
My Little Pony,
Oh, yep.
oh my
the
Yep.
goodness.
original My Little Ponies,
Yep.
not the ones that are out now, because of course those aren't old enough yet. Here's another great one: vintage metal lunch boxes,
Oh my goodness.
especially if they still
Wow.
have the latch on them.
You mean not if they're dented?
I don't
That's
know
too
about
bad.
dented,
I think
but
I dented one on my brother's head one time.
Uh-oh.
we're not going there.
Yeah, I know. Oh well.
Sheriff Mascara, please don't call in. Statute of limitations on that one.
He survived. But
And they do talk on a regular basis.
yeah,
so.
yeah, we're still friends.
Transformers
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
in their
yeah.
packaging.
Yeah. Oh, still packaged? That's hard with
Well,
kids.
that's what it says.
Yeah.
It says if you're looking to transform your bank account, you might also want to check out any Transformer toys that you have lying around. In 1984, Transformer Optimus Prime, which is what this picture was above, can bring as much as $7,100.
Oh my
What?
goodness.
Yeah. Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, we bought Transformers in our Christmas kids shopping expeditions over the years.
Yeah.
Actually, all the ones you mentioned we have. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's one that I didn't even think of: 80s and 90s concert T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Some people make blankets out of them. I
Wow.
guess some
Wow.
people just like to buy them and collect them. I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Our daughter in her Boston t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vintage Nintendo video games.
Wow. Are they even around still? I don't know.
Nintendo video
Oh, yeah.
games?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
but
Actually,
the-
my son still has a set.
Really? Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes. My youngest. Yeah. And we're not going to say how old he's going to be this year.
No. We
We're
don't
not
want to do
gonna
that.
talk
No.
about that. Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh, gosh.
Man, I remember
All of my
them.
kids used to drag around Cabbage Patch Kids. Yeah. Here's another one. Air Jordan sneakers are still
Oh, yeah,
very
they're big.
collectible.
Wow.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
We had several of those around our house.
This says Air Jordan sneakers could have you walking on air once you hear how much they fetch today. A pair of these 1994 Air Jordan 1 Nikes can pull $1,000 or more, even in used condition.
Wow.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
If they happen to be signed by Michael Jordan and in mint condition, the figure skyrockets to $7,000.
Wow. That's
Other
amazing.
versions like Air Jordans 2 through 5 can also sell for serious money.
Hey, newest member of Martin County, Michael Jordan.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Building a country club down there.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
He's
Excellent.
been coming to this area a long time. I saw him out running one day, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, what is that? And
Yes, it
was.
really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
amazing.
So Paula has our featured community today.
Right.
Ooh, Gator Trace.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Gator Trace. It's a country club and golf community. The golf is open to the public. It's built around an Arthur Hill 18-hole par 70 golf course. They also have a clubhouse, a restaurant and bar, and that's open to the public. The homes, well, there's 6 distinct subdivisions in the community, and they range from single family homes, villas, coach homes, and condominiums. 1, 2, 3 bedroom homes ranging in square footage from 800 to 2,000 square feet. And Gator Trace is located just north of Midway and borders the Savannah Preserve. It's got a community pool, a very nice community, and lots going on there.
Yeah.
Great location, close, easy access to everything.
Yeah, exactly. Just north of Midway and just east of US 1. So,
Yep. Right off of Weatherby Road.
Weatherby,
And
right?
just head east off US 1, back of the Mercedes dealership. You'll find it. And
Right.
if you play golf, say hi to Lanny for us. They have hosted our WPSL Christmas Kids Golf Tournament. Wow. 20 years, 20 plus years.
It's
Gator
awesome.
Trace.
Wow.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
I love their little restaurants. You
Oh,
just go in
yeah.
and it's great. Their food's
And
good.
great food.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
is their restaurant open now?
Yeah, it's open for lunch and dinners, and I think then they do some special Friday night activities and dinners, and they also can do some of your host a
Like special events?
reception, special events, and things like that. Yeah, right. Wedding receptions or whatever, things like that.
Yeah, Lanny and his wife do an amazing job with that
Yeah,
club.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So I think it's important to mention again that this is a public course. Anybody can go pay and play.
Yes.
And when you make a purchase in Gator Trace, are memberships available?
Memberships are available. Yes, that's exactly right. So you can, but you have a community pool that you have access. I don't think you have to be a member actually to participate with that. Just-
Okay.
And that pool is great. It's
Yeah.
right down below the restaurant. So
Right.
yeah. Yeah. It's very
Nice place.
Yeah,
Good.
it is. It is.
Well, we didn't realize when we picked Gator Trace today that you had such a long history with them. I'm glad we did then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very cool. Yeah.
So we also have some special listings I brought today.
Cool.
One of our coworkers, Lucas Storm, has a new listing in Port St. Lucie. And this is a home. This is a large home for a big family or extended family and no HOA fees.
That's nice.
I'm not gonna say it.
So
It's-
it just went on the market. It is 5 bedrooms,
Woo.
3 bathrooms, built in 2006, has a private pool,
Mhm.
and 2595 square feet under air, total 4458 square feet. So there's a nice big lanai back there.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
That is cool.
And this
Yeah.
home is on the market for just $374,900.
For a 5-bedroom?
Yes.
That's-
$374,900. So if you want more information about it, give us a call at 772-200-5105.
Wait a minute. A 5-bedroom house.
5-bedroom, built in 2006,
40,
with 3 bathrooms
4,400 square feet.
total.
God.
Now that includes the lanai, garage, everything,
And
but
it's
still it's almost 2,600 square feet under air.
Under
So
air.
it's a big house.
and it's just 374.
374.9.
That's a steal.
That's why we have so many people moving to Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Those good deals are still out there.
Yeah.
The other two I brought are Martin County homes. These are in a private yacht and country club in Martin County, which actually membership is optional in, but it is a gated community with optional membership to all of the golf course and amenities that are available. The first one is 2485 square feet. It's a lot of I think they reversed this. Let me back that up. It's a little over 2,000 square feet under air.
There you go.
Okay. And total square footage is 2485. And it is, gosh, can't even read my own writing here. It's a villa design, so it's one floor, attached garage, and 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of square footage. The room sizes are going to be very generous that way.
Yeah.
And that's what, in the Yacht and Country Club down by Pirates Cove, maybe? Do you know which yacht?
I
and country
do.
club
Yes,
is it?
I do know. And if you want to call me for information, I'll give it to you.
There you go. What's the phone number?
772-200-5105. This one's on the market for $289,000.
Wow. And the website, again, your website?
mydreamhomeusa.com.
Cool. All right.
And we have one more in the same private community. Again, membership is optional. So you can live in a beautiful yacht and country club. And if you don't play golf anymore, then you don't have to, there are no mandatory fees there. This one is on the market for $299, and it's 2,000 square feet, 2,450 square feet. They're both similar size, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car attached garage. And I think I told you this one is $299, right?
Right.
Okay, so any of these homes, if you want more information about it, you can reach Paula and I, and my cell phone is 772-200-5105. And remember, this is an interactive show, so any questions you have, you're welcome to call the radio station, or you can send us an email and ask, or you can text the cell phone and ask. We're always here to answer any questions you have.
Yeah. And if you have questions throughout the week, feel free to text you as
Absolutely.
well as hit the website.
Sure.
Yeah.
Paula and I work in the office together a couple of days a week, and otherwise we talk to each other almost every day.
Daily.
We do a lot of appointments
Yeah.
together. And in case I neglected, our office is in a great location, easily accessible. It's Canner Highway, just off Canner Highway, west of I-95 in the Florida Club, which has gated homes, but public golf course. So you can just come into our office without having to go through gates. We're always available for you.
That sounds great. Well, wow. Bob just blew me away. A wealth of information when it comes to mortgages. And obviously, the interest rates, they may go up a little bit, but they're not going to go up that fast.
No, very
No, I
favorable.
wouldn't think so. Even if they do go up, they're going to go up very slowly. And obviously, compared to the kind of interest rates that we've experienced in the past, these are outstandingly low.
Yeah, we may grow, but we're certainly not going to have inflationary rates.
God, I would hope not.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I hope that crystal ball says that.
No. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
But it's
So-
a good time to get involved in it. If you want a home, it's definitely a good time to do it.
Right. I don't see prices in homes going down anytime soon. So
No,
if
no.
you're thinking about buying, now is the time. And if you're thinking about selling, your home is going to be a lot worth a lot more today than it was last year or 2 years ago or 3
Sure.
years ago.
Right.
Yeah. And that's basically throughout the whole Treasure Coast.
Yes.
Absolutely. Right.
The
Yeah.
whole state practically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I keep going back to Dr. Jerry Parrish, but if he is accurate, and Port St. Lucie is going to be in a growth spurt for the next 40 years.
And it's poised to do that. Yes, that's what they have planned for. And also, before I forget to let you know that EXP Realty is an international company. So Paula and I have access to realtors from all over the world, whether you are going to another country or whether you're coming from another country to this country, whether you're moving from one state to another or even one neighborhood to another. We have access to some of the best agents that can give you the personal experience that you need to make a good transaction.
Yeah, and the international connections, I would imagine that has got to be very valuable for you because it's. I just met a couple the other day from Germany. So
Right. Right.
Yes. And
you
I have a
never know.
couple that just made a purchase here in the state from Germany the beginning of the year. So
Yeah, that
happens all the time.
There you go. Well, you can find your dream home. Just give Eileen and Paula a call at EXP. The phone number again.
So my cell phone is 772-200-5105. And the email is mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com. The website is www.mydreamhomeusa.com.
All right. Well, look, you have a great week, ladies.
You do the same.
Thanks, you too.
Cliff.
You've been listening to the My Dream Home radio show right here on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, talking the Treasure Coast webcaster to the world, and WSTU Stewart, Martin County's heritage station since 1954.